Science can amuse and fascinate us all, but it's the engineering that changes the world. A warm and splendid morning to all of you. Today, 22nd December, India celebrates the birth anniversary of one of the greatest mathematicians India ever produced, Sir Srinivas Ramanujan. On this special day, on this special location, remembering him, taking his name, I, Shweta Bharat from the Department of Humanities.
I, Roshan Fernandez from the Department of CSC.
Welcome you all to the two-day International Conference on Emerging Trends in Engineering.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased and privileged to inform you most of our delegates and participants from national and international levels have already joined us. Namaste to you all and hearty welcome to NMAM Institute of Technology, NITE.
And we are elated and overjoyed to have one of the very eminent personalities as our chief guest, Professor Dr. Prasad Yarlagadda from Queensland University of Technology, Australia.
We also have with us today's guests of honors, Dr. Harish C. Barshilia, Chief Scientist and Head Surface Engineering Division, National Aerospace Laboratories, Bengaluru, Professor Dr. Prasanna Kumar S., JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, Mysuru, Professor Dr. M. Murugappan, Kuwait College of Science and Technology, Kuwait, Professor Dr. D. Nagesh Kumar, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, Dr. B.K. Murthy, Senior Director, Scientist G and Group Coordinator R&D in IT and Digital India Corporation, Professor Dr. Puneet Tandon, IIIT DM, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. We are honored and indeed blessed to have you all with us.
We are also joined by our Vice Chancellor, NITE deemed to be University, Dr. Satish Kumar Bandari. May I request our Principal, Dr. Niranjanan Chiplunkar, Chief Convener of the program, Dr. Sudesh Bekal, and Organizing Secretary, Dr. Sriram Marathe, to escort the guests to the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are now joined by all our dignitaries here, right on the stage, let's put ourselves in the hands of God. I request the college chorus to render the invocation and request the audience to please raise.
Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Shankara Bala Lambodara Sundara 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 Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Ajana Marendra Naru Ajana Marendra Naru Munivaru Panipankaj Charanam Sharanam Panipankaj Charanam Sharanam Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Shankara Bala Lambodara Sundara Gajavadana Karuna Sadana
That was indeed a soulful prayer. May the Almighty bless us all.
To welcome is to show honor, and to welcome is to establish integrity. There can be nothing more important than welcoming our guests. I request our beloved principal, Dr. Niranjan N. Chiplunkar, to present the formal welcome address.
Very good morning to one and all present here. President of this inauguration program of 2 days international conference ICETE-2022, Honorable Vice Chancellor of NITE deemed to be University, Dr. Satish Kumar Bhandari. Inaugurator of this conference, Professor Prasad Yallagadda, Professor from Queensland University of Technology, Australia. Guests of honor on the dais, Dr. Nagesh Kumar, Dr. Harish, Dr. B.K. Murthy, Dr. Puneet Tandon, Dr. Murugappan, Dr. Prasanna. The experts who have come to deliver various other keynote speeches as part of this 7 different conferences being held under the umbrella of ICETE 2022, delegates, faculty members, deans, officers from NITE University, invitees, present media people, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to stand in front of such a gathering once again after a gap of 2 days. Yesterday and day before, we had 2 days of industry academia conclave, which was very successfully conducted, where more than 20 industry leaders and several very senior academicians from different parts of the country, they were here interacting with the delegates, not only from our college but also from other neighboring college and industries. It was a very fruitful exercise. We had 4 different themes with panel discussions under 4 different themes of semiconductors, energy, automotive and disruptive technologies. There were invited lectures and breakaway sessions, and yesterday evening till 5 o'clock everything went on very well, and we have now a plan that has been prepared for next 1 year based on the deliberations that we had yesterday and day before. In continuation of that, like every year, we have been conducting this international conference, and this year it is the 12th international conference, which we started in the year 2011. And from last 4 years, this conference has taken a shape of multi-conference. So this, I believe, is the 4th or 5th multi-conference, even though the international conferences we started in the year 2011. But there is still some more history behind it. In the year 2002, we started what is called PG Fest. It was a state level postgraduate students paper presentation event. In 2002 we started, it's about 21 years back. For about 6 years it continued like that as a state conference. Then we actually upgraded it to a national conference, looking at the interest, kind of response that we used to get, and for another 5 years it continued as a national conference. And as I said, in the year 2011, we again upgraded it as an international conference. To begin with, we used to get about 250, 300, 400 papers, and when it touched 600, we thought, and that too from different disciplines of engineering, we thought that it is too difficult to manage under one banner. So last 5 years, now we have upgraded it to a multi-conference, where there will be 7 different conferences happening under one umbrella of ICETE, that is International Conference on Emerging Trends in Engineering. So that's a brief about how it all started and where we are today. We have good number of very well-known experts on the dais and also amongst our audience. along with the delegates who have come from different places. Just to give you some overview of our institute and our university, Nitte Mahalinga Adyantai Memorial Institute of Technology, in short it is called as NMAM Institute of Technology, was started in the year 1986 under the Nitte Education Trust, which was started in the year 1979 in this particular village by late Justice K.S. Hegde, who was the Speaker of Lok Sabha and also the Judge of Supreme Court of India. Nitte happened to be his wife's place, so after his judiciary service in judiciary as well as political, he came and then settled in this village. We are told that that time there was only one small school offering education till 4th standard. So late Justice K.S. Hegde and his wife, they decided to start a Nitte Education Trust, and after that whatever has happened is an history today. We have now 3 huge campuses. First campus is here in Nitte. The second campus was started in Derlekatti near Mangalore, and in the year 2008 the Nitte deemed to be university was established under Nitte Education Trust at Mangalore, and it was a medical centric university so far, offering programs in medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, nursing, physiotherapy and all that, even architecture school. Third campus is in Bangalore near Yelahanka, where again we have very similar to this setup, where there is an engineering college, a management school and other institutes. So we have 3 big campuses. Out of 3 campuses, now the Nitte campus, which started in the year 1979, the engineering, management school and also the first grade college which offers BSc, BCom programs, have joined Nitte deemed to be university this year, 2002. Because when we started in the year 1986, this engineering college was part of Mangalore University. But in the year 1997, the state government took a decision to formulate an engineering specific university which was called Vishvesvaraya Technological University. So all engineering colleges in the state of Karnataka, around 200 in number, including us, we migrated into Vishvesvaraya Technological University in the year 1997. In the year 2007, we were granted academically autonomous status, but as an affiliated college of Vishvesvaraya Technological University. So we worked that way for last 15 years, and this year, that is 2022, after the UGC and the Ministry of Education Government of India gave its approval, we became part of Nitte deemed to be university, which is headquartered at Mangalore. So with this, what has happened is Nitte deemed to be university has really become a multidisciplinary university now, which has a very strong background of medicine related courses. Now with our inclusion, now engineering is also part of it, management school is also part of it, even BSc, BCA, BCom courses are also part of it. And I need not to tell all of you that the benefits that a multidisciplinary university will have, definitely we can offer many such multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary programs, projects, credit transfer within the institutes and international collaborations at a higher pace, research innovation with joint research programs. All these have become possibilities, and I'm very happy that yesterday's and today's are the 2 major programs of this campus after we joined Nitte deemed to be university. So this is a brief background about what we are and how this has all started. For today's, of course, more about the conference, definitely our conference coordinator, Dr. Sudesh Bekal, will explain you. To this particular inauguration program, we have with us very renowned Professor Prasad Yarlagadda, who is a professor, School of Chemistry, Physics and Mechanical Engineering, Queensland University of Technology, Australia. Accepting our invitation, he has come here to give his keynote on during this inauguration program itself under ICETE 2022. I thank him wholeheartedly for accepting our invitation, and also on behalf of all of us gathered here, extend a very cordial welcome to you, sir. Welcome you, sir. We have guests of honor, as I mentioned, who will be giving the expert lectures in each of the individual conferences after we break from this inauguration program. Of course, during the inauguration program also they will be talking to you. We have Dr. Nagesh Kumar, Dr. Harish, Dr. B.K. Murthy, Dr. Puneet Tandon. Of course, Dr. Puneet Tandon was here even yesterday, day before, as part of Industry Academia Conclave, so he has seen how it all went. Dr. Murugappan and Dr. Prasanna Kumar. I, on behalf of all of you gathered here, extend a very cordial welcome to all our guests of honor. Welcome you, sirs. In fact, when we have so many names, many a times it so happens that one or two may miss, but we are really fortunate that none of that has happened, and we are very fortunate that all of them are here. In fact, many of them, they came yesterday evening itself. Thanks for accepting our invitation and for being here. Dr. Satish Kumar Bhandari, he is the Vice Chancellor of ICETE-2022 University, an ENT surgeon, an academician, an administrator, and a researcher. We are very blessed to have him here. Sir, I, on behalf of all of us gathered here, extend a cordial welcome to you. And he will be presiding over this inauguration program. In fact, our Chancellor, Sri N. Vinay Hegde, he should have been here, but due to some pressing engagements, he could not make it. But he has conveyed his good wishes, and he said maybe if possible either this night when we have some evening program, or tomorrow he will join with us. So I take this opportunity even to thank our Honorable Chancellor in his absence, Sri N. Vinay Hegde, for all his support and guidance. Yesterday, as part of one of the conferences, that is VSpice, we had one pre-conference tutorial, but for all other conferences, we said the industry conclave itself, you can treat it as pre-conference tutorial, because there are a lot of technical stuff happening here. And for that pre-conference tutorial of VSpice, we had Dr. Ashok Kumar from Ashok Rao, from former professor in the Department of Computer Science, I believe, from Indian Institute of Science. So he was there, and I take this opportunity even to welcome him. I don't know whether he has come already here. Yes. And we have several other dignitaries who have come responding to our invitation to give expert talks, to chair the sessions, and so on. There will be several parallel sessions, the details of which will be given by the coordinator and the secretary. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this green campus, or because yesterday, in fact, day before yesterday, as part of our industry conclave, we also inaugurated a 500 kilowatt solar rooftop on this campus. And so I take this opportunity to welcome all of you and delegates. More than 260, please let me correct if I am wrong, more than 260 papers will be presented under 7 different conferences, that too in parallel sessions over 2 days. Most of them have registered, and after a gap of 2 years, last year and year before last, we had this online mode of conference. But this time we said it is offline. Only those who can come down here and present, they are only given an opportunity. So we said that because that interaction otherwise we are going to miss. And I am very happy that 95% of our delegates who have registered already have come. Only we have given an option to overseas delegates to present their papers through online. But I believe there was one delegate from, I don't know, from Taiwan. Has he come? Yeah. So I take this opportunity to welcome all our delegates who are going to present their papers in 2 days. Welcome all of you. Our entire team of this conference, the organizing team, and there are several, because this work started about 8 months back under the able leadership of Dr. Sudesh Bekal and all the heads of the departments. We had to write to several publishers who agreed, looking at our past history, to publish the papers in their conference proceedings and all that. And I take this opportunity to welcome all our committee members, our own faculty members, HODs, deans, our officials from ICETE University, and also the student volunteers to this inauguration program. Welcome all of you. Last but not the least, our media people. Of course, they are the ones who take whatever happens inside the campus to the outside world. I take this opportunity to welcome all our friends from media, and welcome all of you, and I wish this program every success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I welcome you too for this inaugural function. Dear friends, mere words may not suffice to welcome our esteemed dignitaries. May I now request our volunteers to florally welcome the dignitaries on the dais.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to have Professor Dr. Prasad Yarlagadda as our chief guest. Today, I request Dr. Sriram Marathe, Conference Secretary, to introduce our chief guest to the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, I am here to introduce today's chief inaugurator of ICETE 2022, Professor Prasad Yarlagadda, to this august gathering. Professor Yarlagadda worked in industry and university over 37 years. He is distinguished graduate of IIT Bombay, brought considerable manufacturing skills to Australia based on his prior experience in India, Hong Kong, Papua New Guinea and Singapore. He is currently professor in smart systems and director medical devices in Queensland University of Technology, Australia. He had a number of distinguished appointments in various universities in India, China and Australia. He received more than 18 million US funding for his research, and he published over 580 papers and successfully completed supervision of 57 PhD students. In 2012, he received a prestigious Great Honor Award for his outstanding and lifetime contribution to the discipline of manufacturing in world arena from Materials Division of Polish Academy of Sciences. Professor Yarlagadda provided eminent services to global higher education, particularly to engineering discipline, as an academic researcher and author, leader of professional scientific associations, and as a mentor of young scientists. His outstanding contribution to engineering also recognized with the award, the Order of Australian Medal, OAM, by Australian Commonwealth Government in 2016. In 2020, he was named as Researcher of the Year in recognition of his outstanding research to combat against COVID-19 in generating anti-pathogenic surfaces. He is Editor-in-Chief and Deputy Editor-in-Chief for 4 reputed international journals, and also editorial board member of 18 ISI listed journals. He is a fellow of many professional organizations such as Engineers Australia, the Institute of Engineers India, World Academy of Manufacturing and Materials Engineering, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Society of Manufacturing Engineers, and among others. In addition, he also held many community leadership positions as the President, Federation of Indian Communities in Queensland University, President Australia India House Charitable Foundation, are among others. He was also appointed as Vajra Professor by Science and Engineering Research Board, Government of India, twice to lead the research in medical services. With this brief note, I wholeheartedly welcome our Chief Inaugurator of ICETE 2022, Professor Prasad Yarlagadda. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Our chief guest is a man of many credentials. Indeed, it's our honor to have him here with us today. To give brief insight about ICETE 2022, may I request Dr. Sudesh Pekel, Dean R&D and the convener of this conference, to give the rationale of this conference.
Good morning. Honorable Vice Chancellor of NITE deemed to be University, Dr. Satish Bhandari, dignitaries on the days, dignitaries of the days, professors from various departments, students who are present here, and the delegates from various institutions within India and outside India. Welcome to the fourth edition of this multi-conference ICET series. In fact, we started this ICT series in the year 2019. Earlier it used to be called as ICET, single entity it was. But now, ever since we started this multi-conference, it's a multi-fold, like we have many conferences held simultaneously. Due to COVID, 2020 and 2021 edition was online. But now, this year, we decided to have offline or in-person conference, multi-conference, in spite of pressure from various quarters to have it as offline conference. And this year, we have in this conference, we have multi-conference, we have 7 conferences held. When we started in 2019, it used to be, we had 5 conferences, but now this year we have 7 conferences, out of which like 2 new entrants are, one is MS Mat, run by basic sciences departments, and the other one is the ARIV 2022, that is run by electrical department. And we had a lot of challenges when it came to having a single conference for basic sciences, because basic sciences basically formed of physics, chemistry, and mathematics departments. To have one conference for such a group is quite a challenge, but we could, the department, 3 departments put together, they have overcome the challenge and have been able to float this, conference of their own. And in fact, this year they have been able to get record number of papers to the conference. In fact, for these 7 conferences, we have received this year, we received around 650 plus papers, and out of which 320 papers have been accepted, with the percentage, acceptance percentage of 51%. And out of this, like we have, to name the 7 conferences, we have AID 2022, run by computer science and allied branches. And then we have CTCS 2022, run by civil engineer department. SME 2022 is run by mechanical engineering department. And then we have ARIV 2022 run by electrical engineering department. So these are the some of the conferences that are being held this year. And most of these conferences have received quite a large number of papers. Conference by civil engineering department has received 77 papers, out of which 61 papers are accepted for presentation. And then we have mechanical engineering department, that is SME, received 84 papers, out of which 61 papers were accepted for conference, present in this conference. And then out of this, the papers that are presented, ultimately most of based on the condition, rules and regulations of the publisher, some of which will be published in materials today proceedings. MS Mat, that is run by basic sciences departments. their papers, so some of them will be published again in Materials Today publications. Basics, they have received MS Mat 2022, they have received 60 papers, out of which 48 papers are from accepted for publication. And most of these papers related to nanomaterials, thin film, nanolinear optics, organic chemistry, electrochemistry, and discrete mathematics. Further, the ENC department have received, or rather, electrical engineer department has received 54 papers, out of which 20 papers will be have been accepted for presentation. And these papers, most of these papers are related to power electronics, application for renewable energy, electric vehicle, power and microgrids. These papers, some of them will be published in lecture notes in electrical engineering, Springer nature. The conference from biotechnology, they have received 39 papers, out of which 29 papers have been accepted for presentation. And these papers are basically from nanotechnology and bioinformatics, health and pharmaceutical biotechnology, microbiology, and bioprocess technology. There are about 90 participants from outside the state who will be presenting their papers in this 7 conferences. And there are few papers from outside India. They will be presenting their papers online. And in this spread across 7 conferences, there will be 35 sessions during which the papers will be presented. And in all, for all the 7 conferences put together, there are about 20 invited lectures given by eminent experts. That's about the ICETE 2022. I hope the participants and delegates who are presenting their papers have a nice time here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving an overview of this conference. Lighting the lamp is symbolic of a new beginning in Indian culture. It's salutation to the light which brings auspiciousness and bestows eternal knowledge. I request our chief guest and other dignitaries to proceed towards the lamp for the formal inauguration of this event. दीप ज्योति परब्रह्मा दीप ज्योति जनार्दना दीपो मे हरतु पापम दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते. Salutation to the light which brings the auspiciousness, health and wealth. Salutation to the light which bestows the knowledge. The light which is shining bright is a testament in ushering in the positive energy to our program. Ladies and gentlemen, this international conference is a confluence of researchers presenting their research work, which are all compiled as a rich repository of knowledge. Combined efforts of all these researchers is brought out in the form of a compendium, which will serve as a wealth of resource for thousands of students and future researchers. We take pride in releasing this compendium on this occasion. I request our dignitaries to do the honors. And also I request Dr. Sukesh Rao, a compendium in charge, to please join hands in releasing the compendium. Thank you all. The soft copy of this compendium will be mailed to all the delegates.
Dear friends, this multi-conference is having 7 different theme-based conferences. We have many guests for these conferences as invited speakers. 6 eminent invited speakers are with us on the days as a guests of honors. Now it's time to listen to them on their research areas for a short duration. May I now request the guest of honor, Dr. Harish C. Barshilia, Chief Scientist and Head Surface Engineering Division, National Aerospace Laboratories, Bengaluru, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all of you. Sri Vinayak Hegde, Honorable Chancellor NITE, deemed to be University, Professor Sudesh Kumar Bhandari, Vice Chancellor NITE, Dr. Niranjan, the Principal of NITE, Dr. Nagesh Kumar, Dr. Murthy, Dr. Tandon, Dr. Prasanna Kumar, distinguished faculty members, heads of departments, deans, students, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I am most grateful to the management of NITE for inviting me for this wonderful program. It's my privilege to be part of this program. In fact, earlier I had some kind of prior commitments. I was not in a position to come, but then one of my former students, Dr. Manjunath, then he insisted that I should come over here. So I sincerely thank the NITE management for giving me an opportunity to be part of this program. I understand that there are 7 conferences. They are going on concurrently. I welcome all the participants, and above all, I extend my warm greetings to all of you. As has been mentioned that I come from aerospace industry, so I'll just highlight the importance of the new materials in this sector, which consist of not only the aircraft, but also the spacecraft such as rockets and satellites and so on and so forth. So it's very important for a country like India that we should do our research in the area of new materials, and more importantly in the area of strategic materials. So in order for India to emerge as a leader in the aerospace sector, the significant research has to be carried out in these advanced materials. In fact, the things have changed. In the past, most of the materials were importing from abroad, but now maybe I'll say that 90% of the materials are developed in the country, in the various industries, and the research is being done in national institutes, IITs and IISc. from the aerospace perspective, we find that the most important materials are, for example, superalloys such as nimonic, inconel, titanium alloys, titanium and titanium alloys, carbon fibers, which is a strategic technology which is still denied to the country. So we have at National Aerospace Laboratories our own carbon fiber development program. It is used for your light combat aircraft. It is used in the missiles. It is used in the nuclear reactors. So still there is a denial of this technology to the country. So now I think we have the technology in collaboration with the public sector undertaking. Now, the most important aspect which needs to be looked into development of these materials, especially for the aerospace application, is that the material should perform to its highest strength, but at the same time, weight is an issue. Because even if you kind of save 1 kg for a rocket, for example, you save crores of rupees to send that rocket to this thing. See, the most important areas wherein now the researchers are looking is the aluminum alloys, titanium alloys, and the composites. The composites of, for example, silicon carbide composite, which is another technology which is denied to the, there's a technology denial to the country. So there are various programs are there like defense laboratories such as DMRL, NAL, and other premier institutions. Now we have our own technology wherein we can develop these kind of materials. And also the multifunctional composites, not only the CMCs, but also the other kind of composites which are used in the various aircraft program. In the aircraft, generally the life of an aircraft will be about, say, 25 to 30 years. So the prognosis, diagnosis, and its health management is a very, very important issue which needs to be addressed by the researchers. Now, another important areas in the area of new materials is, for example, aluminum lithium alloys, and then the metal forms, high bulk modulus materials. And of course, the people have been talking about nowadays the additive manufacturing, that is the 3D printing. So I'll tell you that in the country now, even the private players, they can now, with the 3D printing technology, they can even design the engines for an aircraft or and so on. And then we need, if you see any engine, any jet engine, you'll find that the operating temperatures inside the jet engines are to the tune of about 1200 to 1500. So you can imagine that you have to develop material wherein it is stable up to 1500 degrees Celsius, that too for 25 to 40 years continuously, and you can understand the kind of fatigue, the corrosion, the high temperature cycling, whatever you call it, the material has to undergo those kind of things, and it should be stable for about 40 years. So that kind of research has to be carried out to understand that one. So for that, in the laboratory, we do some sort of accelerated aging test to see that whether whatever the material we are designing is withstanding those requirements or not. Then we have various multifunctional smart materials, for example, composites, shape memory alloys. Many times you have seen that the material, if it is kind of disturbed by using some property, but then again it will regain its structure because of some sort of either temperature or some sort of activation, and the electroactive polymers. Superalloys, as I mentioned, that they are very, very important, especially for the engine development. The engine operates at a temperature of starting from 1000 to about 2000 degrees Celsius, depending upon your operating temperatures. Just to give you an example that the stainless steel, the melting point will be about 1200 to 1300. So you have to design a material which is stable up to 2000 degrees Celsius. Then high density materials. For example, the technology for these materials still is not available in the country. They are required for various strategic programs such as in the helicopter, in the missiles, and so on and so forth. The metamaterials, which is a very upcoming field for the students, wherein you might have heard the name of the invisibility cloak, wherein the person cannot see you if you use that kind of materials. The advanced multifunctional coatings, of course, that is one of my core expertise, wherein we develop a large number of coatings. For example, a given engineering material, you can improve the performance by significant order if you apply a very thin coatings. And then digital twin technology, it is very, very important for the engineers like you in the audience, the young students, that the digital twin technology is a very upcoming technology. Of course, the use of artificial intelligence and the machine learning in designing new materials is very, very important. So I'll not take much time. I have been given 4 minutes. So I'll summarize that there is a great opportunity for the young researchers to work in these exciting areas. And now the country has a lot of expertise, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of competence available in the country for pursuing these kind of this thing. So I'm sure all the delegates who have come were from different parts of the country. They will benefit from this cross-disciplinary conference. There will be exchange of ideas. I think this idea is very, very good, that starting from computer to civil engineering to electronics to mechanical to materials, all these delegates will interact with each other, and then it will lead to churning of new ideas, and a new concept will come. With this, I wish that my best wishes for the success of this conference. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the research areas on materials for engineering applications. May I now request Dr. Prasanna Kumar S., JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, Mysuru, to address the gathering.
Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor and respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my dear teachers and students, and respected all the participants. I came from a small village near Shimaga. I did my BSc from Sadri Science College. Later I did my MSc from University of Mysore and also PhD from University of Mysore. Later I moved to Virginia Commonwealth University as a postdoctoral fellow. Then I started working on liver cancer. Later, slowly I got interested into liver diseases. Now we know that, after year 1980, in India we started getting TVs. After 1990s, every family started having refrigerator, fridge, and our life started becoming more and more mechanical. And also due to the impact of globalization and due to the impact of urbanization and westernization, we started following a lot of Western culture. And after year 2000, we started having mobile phones, laptops, computers. And after 2000, every students also have mobile phones now. Due to this, we have a problem with our lifestyle, and we have more and more sedentary lifestyle. Due to this sedentary lifestyle, we have a lot of lifestyle associated diseases, including cardiovascular diseases, non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases, type 2 diabetes, and other related diseases. And also these lifestyle associated diseases also lead to psychological problems. Therefore, I started working more on lifestyle diseases, and my area of interest is liver cancer and also non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases and type 2 diabetes. And I slowly started working on the effect of nutraceuticals on these diseases. Now we are discovering what is the effect of various nutraceuticals on non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases, and also on obesity and cardiovascular diseases. And when I was in US, I got interested into a special mechanism in gene regulation mechanism called the risk complex. In year 1998, Craig Mello and Andrew Fire, they discovered a process called RNA interference. Through this process, we all know that we can knock down various genes in animals, plants, even nowadays we have gene therapies and all those things. And when I was doing my postdoctoral fellowship, I discovered one new component of this risk complex. Now we started inhibiting this risk complex function by nutraceuticals. We are mainly working on that nutraceuticals now. I will stop it here due to the time constraint, and I wish all the success to this multi-conference. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. M. Murugappan, Kuwait College of Science and Technology, Kuwait, for a short and quick address.
Very good morning to everyone. So it's a great honor to be a part of this conference committee, and also I wish you all a grand success. And there is a time constraint. So basically, when you talk about artificial intelligence, almost we are using AI in all applications, But basically, all the people are trying to manipulate the numbers by using AI rather than generating any robust or more application-specific model. So as young and dynamic engineers and researchers, we have to be very concerned about developing a solution based on AI with a more robust and reliable solution by taking into account of several factors. Because manipulating number doesn't make any sense. Rather, we have to make it useful to the society. So I take this opportunity to thank you all for inviting me and wish you all a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now request Dr. D. Nagesh Kumar, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, for a quick and short address.
Good morning to all of you. I'm happy to be here as a part of this multi-international conference event. It's really good to be in this campus for the first time for many of us, and we are enjoying our hospitality here. I must say a few words about a specific theme of this conference related to civil engineering, because I'm representing civil engineering domain here. I wish to mention that some of the technologies that are emerging are being extensively adopted into the civil engineering domain. If you talk about smart city development, we use most of the techniques that are available, or we try to develop new techniques to use them for smart city development, talk about water distribution system, or stormwater drainage system, or road network. Everywhere we have to rely on conventional techniques are there, but we have to also talk about new techniques that will be able to address some of the complicated situations. Talk about road network or connectivity, multimodal transport, or if you talk about water management, which is quite demanding in terms of increase in the demand as well as reduction in the availability. Both would put a lot of stress on that, and how do we develop a smart infrastructure or real-time decision support systems which can take care of our needs, not only for the present, also for the future generations. So that's something that's happening, and I am sure many of those topics would be discussed as we proceed into these theme-based events. I'm very happy to be here, and I wish all the success for this grand conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. B.K. Murthy, Senior Director, Scientist G, and Group Coordinator R&D in IT and Digital India Corporation, for a short and quick address.
Dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, and faculty members of NITI institution, and distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from media. Good morning to all. It's gives me immense pleasure to attend this conference and then present my views on this conference. This is a multidisciplinary, multimodal conference, which is unique in nature. And worldwide, if you see, the breakthrough research happens through cross-learning. Such conferences gives you a cross-learning and gives you ideas for breakthrough research. I'll just give you one or two examples in the area of engineering and technology, how the breakthrough researches happen. One student in Germany, psychology student, master's degree student, he has taken very crazy subjects of artificial intelligence and Sanskrit language and something different from technology and engineering, and everybody criticized him. But within just 3 or 4 months, when he has attended semantic networks class in artificial intelligence, and the very next
next hour, he has, in the Sanskrit language, Paninian grammar he has studied. Then he come out with an important IEEE paper, which was breakthrough in early 80s. For Sanskrit can be used as computer language. And till today, the research is going on in many of the countries, not only in India. And based on that, one of the, not on that, based on the Paninian grammar and computer linguists and computer science, Professor Rajiv Sangal has done breakthrough research in machine translation among Indian languages. He was professor in IIT Kanpur and founder director for IIIT Hyderabad. So some of these, and BSU, IIT BSU director as well before his retirement. So some of these researches will come and ideas will come through cross learnings. And our late President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, visited Boeing factory, and after a few months or a few days later, he visited Jaipur foot office, and they found out that has peculiar problem of the Jaipur foot, that artificial limb is very heavy for many of the people. Then he has given one advice, that the material which is used for interiors of aircraft can be useful for this, as a Jaipur foot, and later on it became very worldwide, it is a successful. So these conferences are very important for you. I request the organizers to allow the delegates here to attend other than their areas of research to get the cross learning. I'll tell you another example. These class learnings are very, very useful in our daily life as well. I'll just, if you permit me, I will tell you one story. All of you studied the hare and tortoise story in your childhood. And everybody, through rote learning, we have learned the story gives, the moral of the story is, slow and steady wins the race. If you think out of the box thinking, it is not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that if you do any mistake, learn from the mistake, don't commit ever. Through that, there are a lot of sequels have come, which our experiences, my experience have taught. Let me tell you next. Very next day, the hare realized its mistake, went to the tortoise, say that somehow I could not run the race, made all excuses, and convinced the tortoise, let us have another race. Obviously, next day, the hare won the race. That means you learn from your mistake, don't commit ever in your life in order to success in your life. Very next day, the tortoise, this is the third sequel. Tortoise realized its mistake, and I should win the race with hare by hook or crook, by using my intelligence. And hare agreed, and tortoise said that not this path, we'll take another path. Hare very confidently, with overconfidence again, agreed. But the tortoise created a path, in between there is a river. You know the result. The hare could not cross the river and tortoise crossed the river, won that. That means the moral is that you have to work on your strengths, not on the weaknesses. Set aside your weaknesses. Then next day, both became friends. You won once, I won once, and we have some good qualities. Both of them became pally, and then won, and they again tried the race. Okay, then in that case, what happened was, on the land, the hare took the tortoise on her shoulders and then went up to the river. On the river, in the water, it is the other way. The tortoise took the hare on that shoulders and then crossed the river. Now both of them became friends and invited all the animals in the jungle, and then let us have a race. And 2 animals each, and none of them could win the race, and only these 2 pair could win the race. So that means you need to have collaboration, you need to have cross learning, you need to work on your strengths and with your partner's strengths. So then only you can succeed in this. Today's life is so difficult. Gone are the days you are having a traditional core knowledge and then publishing papers. You can never ever publish many papers in that unless you learn from various things. My own learning, when I joined in 1895 and 91 in Computer Science IIT Delhi, I wanted to work in artificial intelligence, and my supervisor wants to work on neural networks. I want to work on neural networks, and my supervisor wants to work on natural language processing. Then I said, why can't I apply neural networks for this? And everybody criticized me, how can you do that without knowing grammar? How can you learn language? I have just answered one thing, how a child can learn language. He or she doesn't know the grammar, but within few months, she can pick up the language perfectly and then speaks. So using that one clue, I could publish many papers, and within just 3.5 years, I could complete my PhD. And some of those things, and today, yes, deep learning that you have studied in artificial intelligence are all, and most of the speech technology, language transfers, all are using neural networks only. So some of these technologies and other things, you can get it only through cross-lingual. And today, many of the universities and institutions across the world, they are creating the departments which are out of the box. The one of the biotechnology is that, 3D printing is that. And some of the technologies like electric vehicle technology, it requires electrical engineering as well as your mechanical engineering put together, automobile engineering put together. So all these cross-links happening now because of these collaborations with various departments. Now, my request to all the researchers are, at least one day, you come out of your shell of your own language, your own area of research, and spend 1 hour or 2 hours per week in any other discipline other than this. And believe me, you will publish breakthrough research papers in your career. And those are very much useful, like the hare and tortoise story I have narrated just now, will be useful in our solving our life problems as well. And we can be a successful human beings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the importance of collaboration and cross-learning to achieve success. May I now request Dr. Puneet Tandon, IIIT DM, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, for a quick address.
Respected Dr. Prasad, the inaugurator of the conference, Honorable Vice Chancellor, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, delegates present over here, my faculty colleagues, staff, students, media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. I'm really very excited and honored to be a part of this multi-conference. In fact, I have been a part of the organizing committee of ASME IMechE, which is International Mechanical Engineering Conference and Exhibition, which have multiple tracks, maybe I would say close to 14-15 tracks, but all related to mechanical engineering. And every year around 4,000 to 5,000 delegates participate in that particular conference. What I really liked about that particular conference is that the flexibility of attending other sessions also, what Dr. Murthy also just now said. So this multi-conference, I'll say, goes one step beyond, where anybody can learn from civil engineering to computer science to electrical to mechanical to biomedical. So these 7 conferences provide you a platform to have multidisciplinary knowledge. The importance of this is very omnipresent in present era. Like we have been talking since last 1 decade in particular that gone are the days of the compartmentalization of engineering. If you take any product, for example, you can say it's a pure electronic product or a pure mechanical product. I don't think you can find it. So if you say that I learn only mechanical engineering, I won't learn anything, probably your survival will be really difficult in this world. But last few years, even we have gone beyond that particular domain segment also. If you look at, for example, medical sciences, if medical science don't collaborate with engineering, they cannot develop new tools, the procedures, the surgeries, everything will become very difficult. And more importantly now, the people from management, economics, liberal arts, psychology has become a very important factor for both engineers and doctors. So everything is like, and like one cannot have knowledge of all these domains, but you can always pick what area excites you and you can learn. And if you are attending even one particular conference also, probably the core area of your research, you won't find many exciting papers in that particular domain. But if you go and attend another conference, another session, which can link to your research work, probably that will provide you an excellent opportunity to diversify, look from the other perspective, other avenues. So please understand that in the present era, when the technology are changing very fast, you have to be lit and you have to be flexible. You have to learn new things. Your thinking should be not conventional but out of box. Only then you can survive. So this is a very good opportunity, these multi-conferences, to learn you with the work done by, like, everybody knows that one, say, research paper is published, it requires multiple years of research being done by that researcher. So this is one platform where you can learn what other has done, and that can be a leapfrogging from your domain to some other domain. So with these words, I am once again thankful to the organizing committee of this conference, and I wish you all the best for this multi-conference ICETE. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Wisdom is the result of experience and years of dedicated work. It's our privilege that we have an academician as our chief guest who has immense knowledge and wisdom in the field of engineering, Professor Dr. Prasad Yarlagadda. Sir, it's our honor to have you here. Request you to kindly address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. It is indeed my pleasure to be here and wonderful to see all of you, so many young mind researchers, male, female, all combination. This is one of the transition for me over last 20, 30 years. In the beginning, in a conference like this, I see 98% men and 2% women. Whereas the transition has been happening over past 3 decades, I could see at least 50% participation of women in engineering and other professional activities. It is wonderful to see that. That's what we are targeting to do in developed countries as well. With this little brief introduction, I would like to acknowledge presence of our Chancellor, Dr. Professor Satish Kumar Bandari, and Vice Chancellor of the NITI deemed to be university. I understand our Chancellor is unable to join here. Chancellor Vijay Hegde is somewhere else, but we acknowledge and recognize his support to the institute, support to all of us. It is wonderful to see presence of so many eminent researchers, industrialists, and innovators as a guest of honors from many parts of India and around. One way I'm a bit saddened reason is all the previous speakers stole my ideas, what I want to speak. But at the same time, I'm so happy our thinking is same. We all are thinking about multidisciplinary research and transdisciplinary research. I'll talk about it in a little while. And I also would like to thank the conference organizers, particularly General Chair Dr. Niranjan Chipulkar, Chief Conveners of the conference, Dr. Sudesh Bakail and Dr. Nagesh Prabhu, and other multi-conference chairs and organizing team. Thank you very much for hosting this event. I also would like to thank one of my past friend, colleague, Professor Sashikant. He was my colleague at IIT Bombay when I was doing my PhD. He was doing his master's. And he's the one connected me a few years ago. And we were planning my visit here since 2019. But all of you know that COVID had a huge impact on everything what we have done. So finally, I'm able to make it. Thank you, Sashikant, for your continuous pleasure bringing me here. And I was also a keynote speaker in SME 2020 and 2021 in collaboration with School of Mechanical Engineering. When Sashikant was head, we produced 2 special issues of Journals of Material Proceedings today. I'm sure something happening SME 2022 as well. So, thank you, Shriram, for a wonderful introduction. I really appreciate and acknowledging some of the aspects. As you said, 37 years I was working several countries, starting from India, Hong Kong, Papua New Guinea, Singapore, US, and America. What I realized is, in all these my academic journey, you must be good in your own discipline, whatever you're a mechanical engineer, computer engineer, electrical engineer, biotechnologist, but you will be a lot more successful when you respect and understand the importance of other disciplines, how they relate to you and your work. number of previous speakers highlighted same aspect. And my own life journey is a practical example of successful collaboration. I led a large project for airport security for entire Australia for 10 years. But I know nothing about airport security before that. But I was the project director for airport security for entire Australian airports, except Sydney, the Emirates, Dubai, and also Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. So I could do that only because of my collaboration, my appreciation, and working with researchers from all other disciplines. I will cover a couple of examples here. So in this journey, what I realized is there are three important aspects. First one is working and collaborating beyond discipline boundaries. See, as a mechanical engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer, then trained manufacturing engineer. Now I myself call it a bio-manufacturing specialist in medical devices. But imagine my manufacturing remains the same. When I was doing airport security, now I'm the director of medical device program in Australia. So what we do, particularly my specialization is orthopedics. I'm an engineer, but I'm working with orthopedic surgeons. I'm working with computational specialists to do fast processing of some of the aspects. So what I realized, the first thing I learned in my life is try to adopt and work beyond the discipline boundaries, undertaking interdisciplinary research or transdisciplinary research among various fields of science, health, and engineering. It is absolutely important to recognize and acknowledge significance of other disciplines and their relevance to your own discipline. And the second aspect I realized is integration of discipline knowledge. Yes, you know what you can do. Yes, you know what others can do. How can we work together? Professor Murthy clearly said that the race of winning them together here in Tortoise, together, working together collaboratively by complementing their skills. It is same integration of discipline knowledge. Me as a manufacturing engineer, I bring what are the important aspects of manufacturing, how quickly I can manufacture a product. Then by interacting with orthopedic surgeons, trauma specialists, I will see what they need, how a bone plate should withstand, what extent, what load, how many cycles, and how do you minimize post-surgical infections. All that is not my discipline, but by working with specialist surgeons, I learned that I developed implants which will minimize post-surgical infections. The journey is not easy. I spent a number of years working, particularly I worked about 6 months in CMC Vellore and 3 months in All India Medical Centers Delhi and number of hospitals in Australia. That gives us more discipline knowledge. But again, I will never claim I replace the orthopedic surgeon, I replace the doctor. I can only do to enhance their capability, what they can do to service mankind. And the third aspect is, all of you, most of you know, particularly digital generation, how important computing and communication. My daughter did a finishing PhD in virology. We asked her a few years ago, what is most important for you in our life? And she said that I can live without food for 5 days. I can live without my mobile phone 1 day. I cannot live without internet more than 15 minutes, which is Facebook. And so social media has so much impact in our life. Social media, go one step back, how did it happen? It is a huge computational intelligence, computational power we developed over past 3 decades. I mean, the time when I'm finishing my PhD, 1992 in IIT Bombay, email was just coming up on board. And we are now you can see current generation, you so lucky got everything at your fingertips. However, it is up to you how well you use this technological advantage for benefit of you and community rather than using wrong ways. So what I realized is another important aspect is phenomenal improvement in computational power, big data analytics, and cloud computing left huge impact on every aspect, even manufacturing, my own sector, and also other sectors as well. I'm sure you fully agree with me that every engineer's and researcher's performance greatly enhanced through these soft skills. For example, as a trained mechanical engineer, I have spent more than 75% of my professional life understanding relevance and significant application of other engineering disciplines like civil, electrical, and computer science in solving complex problems for airport security, which I led for 10 years for improving airport operational efficiency. Likewise, I have spent more than 40% of my career in understanding applications of engineering to other fields, namely healthcare, health management, medical device development in the field of medicine and health, and complex systems and stochastic and statistical modeling and applications of machine learning and data analytics to solve complex relay problems. Please note, a mechanical engineer alone cannot solve a problem. IT engineer alone cannot solve the problem. But an electrical engineer, a mechanical engineer, a doctor together can solve a lot of real life problems. So what I learned in this my journey is connect to your colleagues in other disciplines. Make sure you complement your knowledge. And I'll be presenting a keynote speech tomorrow in SME 2022. The topic is recent trends in advanced manufacturing and biomimicking of customized medical implants for biomedical applications. See, this work we are doing last 7 years. We received a lot of funding from Indian government. From Indian government, they gave me $1 million in Australia to lead this research. It is done by DST. And it will be probably 75% of this work is medical research, mainly on orthopedic surgeries. But being a manufacturing engineer, I had opportunity to lead this project to convince Minister of Science and Technology to fund this project just because of my engagement and appreciation working with the transdisciplinary researchers from biomaterials, from health surgeon, medical surgeon, doctors and other professional specialists. So I think some of you know, as I mentioned, I'm a Vajra professor appointed by the Government of India, and currently I'm stationed at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Over the last 4 years, I spent almost 1 year in India. I spend 3 months every year to work on this, and also work in partnership with IITs and other institutes of national eminence in order to develop solutions for real life problems and promote Make India among Indian community. I was one of the advisory board to the principal scientific advisor to Prime Minister, in which we clearly addressed some of the needs for medical devices. How can we produce low-cost medical devices? I mean, if you see the numbers, I don't want to name any companies here. If any media people, please don't mention it. The implant in America cost $12,000. Same implant in Australia costs about $9,000. Same implant in India costs 15,000 rupees. You can imagine how the domestic manufacturing customization reduced the cost by tenfold. So the reason why I requested not to mention these are confidential figures. But so Prime Minister Modi's intention of Make India, I know we are in the first step itself, but long way to go. But we will ultimately, our domestic manufacturing capability are already gone up in number of sectors, but medical device is clearly taking one step at a time. We have hundreds of startups started already. They're battling to win the race, but I'm sure one day we will produce those implants locally in India to meet our domestic needs. So I'm very pleased to share that our collaborative research not only attracted significant amount of funding from both Australian and Indian funding agencies, but also proud to say that we are one more step closer to produce and locally manufacture low-cost medical devices, which are self-healing and self-cleaning for various orthopedic applications. So I'm pleased to see the vision of NAM Institute of Technology in administering 7 and hosting 7 conferences together as a part of the International Conference of Emerging Trends in Engineering. I'm very sure that participants of this conference and organizers are not only promoting the concept of interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary and transdisciplinary research, but also promoting the concept of outlined earlier in order to develop engineering solutions for various real-world problems. Once again, I would like to congratulate the organizers, speakers and participants of these conferences and wish them well for a successful participation, and also spread the message of integration and working discipline boundaries. Thank you very much.
Dear sir, thank you very much for highlighting 3 aspects to be successful: working and collaborating beyond our discipline, integration of supreme knowledge, and how well we use the social media for computational problems. Thanks again, sir.
Our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Satish Kumar Bandari, is one of the driving forces of ICETE-2022 University, who has been instrumental in making our institute a center of excellence. Sir, I request you to deliver the presidential address.
Chief guest for the day and inaugurator of this conference, Professor Prasad Yarlagadda. Really, I was I'm thrilled to hear and meet him. And I find this type of conferences very good places for networking. I should congratulate Professor Karinka, but I got one complaint against you. Why you didn't bring him here earlier? He's here for the last 1 year in Bangalore. He brought another guest for Professor Ravi for the last one of the 2 days inauguration of one of the programs. IIT Mumbai, brilliant people. And we have got so many other guests from different institutions gathered here. And I should congratulate Sudesh Bekal for having a preliminary presentation. Like in Yakshagana, you know, there's a PTK, curtain raiser. And that will give the glimpse what is going to come in the next 1 or 2 days. Congratulations to Sudesh Bekal. Congratulations to Niranjan for having this very innovative idea. Multi-conference, wonderful idea. But 2 days are not sufficient according to me. I was feeling that I should have had more time to listen to these stalwarts who are gathered in the podium here. You could, I heard Murthy talking about tortoise stories. I think this is one of the wonderful story which can motivate. I was thinking how to motivate our people. How to motivate our people to get involved in research. We are in a haste. I'll tell you, we are in a haste in NITA University. And I'm very happy to tell you that year 22 has been probably a milestone year in history of NITA University. We have become multidisciplinary university. Yes, we had an engineering college under the fold of NITA Education Trust, and Niranjan gave the very nice introduction and told how we evolved in the last 44 years. But today, 22, I think it's a breakthrough year in the history of NITA TMT University. We have become multidisciplinary university and multi-conference. This inauguration itself is I think, a new idea what we can have. See, always we hear a particular field. If I'm an ENT, I love ENT, from the ENT people talking about ENT. But getting exposed to different, it may be mechanical, it may be civil, it may be computer engineering. The same audience, I think introduction of these different subjects for the audience in the inaugural function, that's a really wonderful idea. I think only I regret that we could not give enough time to you people. I understand in the next keynote address in individual conferences, 7 conferences we are going to have for the next 2 days. I think that time we can have time to interact with these stalwarts. And there are people, I think I know, the young generation. We had interaction with a lot of middle-level associate assistant professors from NMMIT with the medical college. I agree with our guest Prasad that there is a dearth for innovation in this country. Medical devices, Professor, what is happening here is 80% of our medical device in India are imported. So more than a $40 billion industry. 80% of Indian products and particularly medical devices are imported. And you know that we use a lot of engineering devices. It may be CT, it may be MRI, it may be endoscopes, it may be telescopes, it may be even robotic surgery. You know, it's one of the biggest invention what's happening in the recent years. And everything is imported, 80%, except consumables. It may be IV fluids, some implants we are doing now, but most of the things are being imported. And the role of engineers, I think it's really, really good. It is not only confined to teaching. I should congratulate the people who have brought industry-academia collaboration here. And this is a wonderful idea, industry-academia collaboration followed by the conference. I think in the next year to come, I think we can have a present, and industry should bring their products. Exhibition, the people can interact with the industry, let them show their products. I think this type of exercise is being done in the West. In the United States of America, when a few years back, I went for our ENT conference. Huge, 6,000 delegates. World over, they assemble there. And everything, there are stalls. You can visit any stall. The ENT person can go to another area where there's a robotic surgery is there, and this will explain to the engineers there. We can have a hands-on experience. I could do some glimpse. I could see the equipment there. I could do some procedures, robotic surgery, not on human being, but some models we could see the robotic surgery. Before that, I was thinking the robots will come and operate. No, it's not robots are operating. The person is operating. The surgeon, ENT surgeon is operating, but is ably assisted by robotic technology. He'll be sitting on the robotic machine and he'll be moving the hands, in the sense, the equipments, and it will be very precise. And it will guide you. If there is a vessel, it's a very dangerous place, it will ask you to avoid that area. So this is technology assisting the human being. And definitely I think this type of conference will play a major role in kindling interest in research, innovation, entrepreneurship. I think this is going to happen in this area. Startups, I think the younger generation and the people who are assembled here, it may be from other institutions, interact and do networking. And very good, the previous speaker spoken about the collaboration. I want to take our Prasad to my main campus now. You should visit. I request our research director, Praveen Kumar Shetty, to bring him there, with others also. I am not naming one particular person. Whoever has got time, let them come and visit. Let them see the facilities there. I am telling this because the time given to me just 5 minutes, but when I meet such people, I get a lot of adrenaline rush to speak and tell how to motivate our people. So the other day we had a very important, the person is there still in the universities. He's from Missouri University, from Columbia, and he has brought the soil and the impact of soil on human health. Now we are having a value-added course. I think biotechnology, I found some biotechnology students there. Soil, the impact of soil on human health. You may think, what is the university is doing with the soil which is not related to us? We don't offer any course on soil. The most of the diseases now in India is because of the contamination of soil. Either it may be nutritionally deficient soil. We don't have enough nutrients in the soil. Iron, it may be deficient, or micronutrients may be deficient in soil. If you give the such food, it will fill your stomach, but it will not give any nutrition to you. Then you will go to the doctor and you'll take multivitamins, B complex. Everybody, all the patients will come and ask us, give some multivitamin. I am feeling very weak. Give me some B complex. Because now everything has gone to their head, thinking that by eating B complex they will get strength. But we also put all our prescriptions will be there with one B complex, with one iron, another with antacid. Everything will be there. If you see your prescriptions, there will be 10, 15 medicines. But is it required for human beings? It's a waste of medicine, a waste of national resources. We have got such a shortage of resources in India, but we are using it on unnecessary things. So this can be done if you empower the rural farmer. Let him produce our agriculture produce, which is enriched with nutrients. It may be iron, it may be vitamin A, vitamin B. Now we are eating polished rice. The rice black rice is better on what I call beaten rice. It is better than the polished rice. It contains thiamine, it contains vitamins. It will reduce your heart attack. It will improve your heart strength. It will prevent the neuropathy, degeneration of the nerves. So all these things can be done if you collaborate between interdisciplinary approach. And this is the theme of the conference. I request all of you to make use of the next 2 days. And I agree that inauguration should be prolonged like this. Always, whenever I visit international conferences, there won't be inauguration at all. Straight away to the business, talking to the people and listening to the wisdom of the people who are resource persons. So that's very important. But yes, this inauguration function have been really used in a fruitful manner. I wish you all the success. Let us have more people like who are sitting in the dais, from our younger colleagues, from the research people who are doing teaching in the institution. Let us have very fruitful 22-23 And next conference, again, it will be more innovative in having different ideas, and let us have more publication, innovation, entrepreneurship from this campus. Wish you all the best. May God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words and wishes.
It is not happiness that brings us gratitude, but gratitude that brings us happiness. May now request our principal, Dr. Niranjan N. Chiplunkar, to present a memento to our chief guests and guests of honors as a token of love, respect, and gratitude.
Thank you, sir. It is rightly said, thankfulness is the beginning of the gratitude, and gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. We wish to express our gratitude to all of you for making this inaugural part a grand success. I request Dr. Raghunandan K.R., Chairman, Stage and Inaugural Function, to propose vote of thanks.
The essence of all beautiful art, all great art, is gratitude. Thank you is such a beautiful word that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to this special occasion. Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I thank the Almighty for blessing us with this wonderful day. Irrespective of his busy schedule, Dr. Prasad Yerlagadda has been with us to inaugurate this conference. On behalf of the management, organizing committee, staffs and students of NMMIT, I thank Dr. Prasad Yerlagadda for your gracious presence, sir. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and heartily thanks to our beloved President, Shri N. Vinay Hegde, sir, who has been a great support for all of us to conduct many events in the campus. I extend sincere gratitude to Sri N. Vinay Hegde, sir, in his absence. I extend my sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Satish Kumar Bandari, Vice Chancellor, NITE Deemed to be University, for your gracious presence, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Harishi Barshilia, Dr. Prasanna Kumar S., Dr. Nagesh Kumar, Dr. M. Murugappan, Dr. B.K. Murthy, and Dr. Puneet Tandon for gracing this occasion with your knowledge. Thank you, sir. Our beloved principal, Dr. Niranjan Chiplunkar, is a source of encouragement for all of us to conduct various events in the campus. I extend my sincere thanks to you, sir. The Chief Convener, Dr. Sudesh Bekal, and Organizing Secretary, Dr. Sriram Marathe, have put a lot of efforts in organizing this multi-conference. On behalf of our institution, I extend my sincere thanks to you both. Our sincere thanks to Mr. Yogesh Hegde, Director, Maintenance and Campus Development, Off-Campus, NITE DU, and Resident Engineer, Dr. Srinath Shetty, and his team for providing us the various facility to host this inaugural multi-conference. Our sincere thanks to the Vice Principals, Dr. Srinivas Rao and Dr. I. Ramesh Mityantaya, Deans and HODs of various departments, conference chairs and secretaries. I thank all the teaching and non-teaching staffs for your kind help to organize this multi-conference. I thank the student volunteers for arrangement of stage and Manvita and group for their invocation. Our special thanks to the sponsors, Teachers Cooperative Bank Udupi, and also media and press for covering the news in various media. I thank Dr. Roshan Fernandez, Professor Shweta Bharat for being the master of ceremony for this inaugural function. If time is money, then today you have spent millions for us. Thanks to all of you for making this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Sir, thanks to you too for the beautiful stage and other arrangements. Here we come to an end of the inaugural part. I request Dr. Sudesh Bekal and Dr. Sriram Marathe to lead the guest of the days. We will now be moving to the technical sessions. Technical sessions would... Sorry?
Dear participants, there are few announcements to be made here. The keynote address on effective computing and its applications in healthcare using artificial intelligence by Dr. M. Murugappan, Professor, Department of Electronics and Communications.